Hey, what's up? It's Ubercoo. I am back. And so I had a thought about what I wanted to talk about. And I had an idea for like, what would be it, like different cast for the different Marvel films based on different decades. I pulled up IMDb and found there's a series that they had the best actors ever, and then I have it separated by decade. Now it looks like so I've got right up front I got like the 60s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s because we've already got the 2000s that's already been cast and obviously beyond. So I didn't want to go farther into that. Now I think it'd be cool, man. If hopefully now that I'm live, it'd be nice to have some people come in and we'll talk. But as for right now, I'm just gonna kind of give my opinion on what I think is who would be the best actors for each character, and I don't want to go like through like a whole big list of like every MCU character. I'm just saying, uh, it would be not like I'm just gonna go with like some of the names I can think of offhand, and then from there, then I think it'd be great to see who I would like to see based on that decade, basically. Okay, so just checking to see if my live stream is going on the search. Just double checking. Sometimes, man, I don't know. I don't see it, so I just want to double check. I'm still getting used to the live streaming and still getting used to the YouTube. I think it's great, man. I like putting out new videos. This is fun. So like earlier today, I was doing Civilization 6. I spent like 3 hours on that. So I don't know, man. If you come across the channel, man, give me a like, subscribe, do all the fun things that YouTube wants, man. Because we all need that tap dance. You know what I'm saying? So let me dive right into this bad boy. So based on the IMDb here, it looks like they've got so 1960s right off the bat they've got. And it looks like they've got points too, which I like. I like this because on IMDb they've got points for each actor. You know, let's see here. Marcello Mastroianni. Uh, looks he's from Italy in 1924, but as soon as family moved to Turin. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. I should have muted that, but it caught me really quick. Uh, so it looks like Let's see. He's from World War II. All right. So okay. So let me just do a quick dive in here. I'm gonna just do a quick dive and see what his let's see what his acting gig is. Because I mean, if he's a dedicated actor, you'd want to make sure he has a good part in the film. Let me say this up front. So I put it in the description as well about I didn't want to focus on the CGI. I put like the CGI, like the modern technology aside, right? Just I'm strictly talking like the same type of stories leading up through each of the Marvel films. And I don't debate now. Now that I'm thinking about it, do I want to go in order of like each movie? Probably not. I think that might take too much time. But um, what I'm gonna do is let's just pick like the top names I can think of, and then from there, uh, so from there, then I'm going to uh, have a decision. This guy, let's see here. So let me go back to this guy. So Marcello. Okay, just looking at some basics preview. Try to get off of that. I don't want to get flagged again. So let's see here. Voyage to the Beginning of the World, 1976. Okay. Okay. Beyond the Door. He seems like a veteran actor. I mean, just looking at the titles and like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't recognize many of them because I haven't watched a lot of the older films, but like, I mean, this is back in the '60s, right? So let's go down to the '60s era and see what he's known for. Diamonds for Breakfast, A Place for Lovers, The Man in the Balloons, The Stranger, Casanova 70. All right, so yeah, he's like really in it more like he's yeah. So it looks like he's more looks like a theatrical actor. I'm not sure, but like the point, like so you want to do I'm gonna give this guy an interesting role. Hmm. Let's see what he looked like in say 1963. Yeah, I forgot his last name here. Just want to make sure I got that too. So let's see what he looked like back then. All right, so okay, all right, so this guy. All right, so I'm digging the pictures. It's definitely a classic actor. Um, you know what? I'm gonna cast him as Doctor Doom. I think this guy's gonna be. I think this guy would make a great Doctor Doom. Like I'm looking at this picture right here, like that face that he's got. It's like it's kind of worn and like I think that, and he's got the attitude. That looks really cool. So yeah, yeah, this guy looks like he could definitely pull off a Doctor Doom in 1960s. I can definitely see that. Let's see here. Who else? So we got Doctor Doom. All right, all right. So we got that set up. Now let's see who else. And I'm gonna be honest, I cannot pronounce that name correctly. I'm gonna try, but I apologize if I mess this up. Chishu Ryu. Um, he seems. I don't want to directly give him like a Shang Chi. Um, nor do I want to give him a bad role. Um, hmm. Let me see. Hmm. I think he might put. I like. Let me see. Okay, so let me take a look to see who he looked like in maybe like a back in the day. We'll say I'm gonna stick to 1963. It's just a round number. That's all. Just a round number. I could pick 68 or whatever. But okay, he kind of looks like Walt Disney a little bit here in that picture. It's the suit in the mustache. That's all. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. So let's see. I'm just going through the pictures, see if there's something from an earlier era. Um, so you know what? He is Howard Stark. I'm casting him as Howard Stark. That I mean that suit just sells it right there. Um, yeah, I think that would be an interesting, great part. I like that. I like him as Howard Stark. Burt Lancaster. Now that's a name I know from like my grandparents. All right, so let's see what Lancaster looked like back in, we'll say 68. We'll change it up instead of 63. Okay. Hmm. Burt Lancaster. Okay, he's definitely a built dude. Superhero type. Um. Hmm. He's Star Lord. I think I'm gonna cast Burt Lancaster as Star Lord. I think I like that, dude. Yeah, I like that, man. I think you'd be a good Star Lord. He could pull it off, I think. Well, he might, like, let's see, if I could find one from like the 68 specifically. The swimmer. Alright, is there a picture of him from the swimmer? I'm gonna guess one of these back here. The swimmer. So, like, I'm gonna guess like this guy here. Like something like that, I guess. But I'm gonna still cast him as Star Lord, man. I think he, yeah, he could pull. I think he could do it, man. I mean, he's definitely a well-known actor, and like, why not? It'd be kind of a comedic role, but I think so, man. Burt Lancaster as Star Lord. It just sounds. It has a good ring to it. Martin Balsam. Let's see. From the Bronx, manufacturer of women's sportswear, firstborn child. Okay. Actor from All the President's Men. That's a good movie. Let's see. We'll do 65. Okay, interesting. Okay, Martin Balsam, 1965. That's what he would look like. Huh. I'm gonna say a business type or um. Wait, let's see. No, you know he kind of looks like, he looks like the villain from Ant-Man, the first one. I forgot his name. Um, he kind of looks like him, but I don't know if I would cast him as that. Let's see here. He's got a stern face. Let's see here. I'm basically just going off of headshots. I don't like. Let me get some history on this guy. Let me go back down to the '60s era. So I'll start around 60. Everybody go home, way out. Okay, so he was in a couple of Hitchcock Presents. That's cool. Let's see. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Alright. Wish I could play a video for that. I'm sure I get flagged. Let's see. The Untouchables from the 60s. Okay. I would probably put him as. I don't want to cast him as Coulson. Maybe. Well, let's see. Who else was in. You could probably put him as Coulson in the 60s. Hmm. The Twilight Zone? Okay, so it wouldn't be that far of a stretch for sci-fi. Let's see. Who? Let me just go through this. We can see if there's anybody else that would stand out as like a Coulson. These are all guys too. I've noticed. There's no women on this. Hold on. Oh wait, I think they're going by. Hold on. That might explain. Orson Welles though. That would be an Orson Welles as Obadiah Stane. Kirk Douglas would easily be the Vulture. You know what? I think so. Let me see if I could just switch it between actors, and then next I'll do actresses. I'll just so I can instead of going back and forth on the pages, and it's just easier that way. But I think that'd be a good idea. So we'll just do at the front, and then after that we'll do women. I don't want to, and I don't want to. We'll say like 5 or 6 per decade. So whatever, not just taking up a huge amount of time. Peter Sellers. Hmm. Who would Peter Sellers play? Hmm. Let me let me see. If there's something I can recognize him from. I think he was in an episode of Twilight Zone. If that's the same guy I'm thinking of, maybe not. Peter Sellers. I know that name. Wait, was he in? So wait, hold on. Let's pull him up real quick. Peter Sellers. I think he's from. What is that called? What's that? Doctor Strangelove. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he was. That's right. Yeah, he was in Dimitri. Oh wow. Okay, so who would he play? He would play somebody animated, somebody funny. Hmm. Interesting. Where could you fit Peter Sellers in the MCU, or at least in Marvel? That's a good question. I mean, you would have to have him, right? I mean, he's like his characters are just he knows how to put. He's a character actor. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to put that face on. So where would you put him? I'm gonna say Morph. I like that. If we're going now, I don't know. I They haven't had Morph in the movies yet. Um, but hmm, let me go to Peter Sellers in 1964. Oh, let's say it don't matter. 63, 64. Hmm. He's comedic. Probably somewhere in Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe. Um, or hmm, that's a good question. That's a toughie, dude. Yeah, cause look at him. Oh, of course. The guy from Captain America who gives him the serum. What's his name? Stanley Tucci's character in Captain America. That's who. That's okay. Well, that's who Peter Sellers is. That's great. Hmm. I can't get um that line out of my head where he's talking to the Russian president and he's like, Dmitri, that Dmitri. I was just like, it is so funny, dude. That is such a funny movie. I don't care what age you are, you should watch Doctor Strangelove at least once. There's some parts that like you probably won't get, but there are some parts that are just absolutely timeless. Um, the scene where George C. Patton, or yeah, Patton, George C. Scott, he points to the big board. They're going to see the big board, sir. You know, ooh, right on. That's cool. Making big loud noises. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, how about that? My lamp fell over. That's not great, but hey, that's all right. You know, things happen. So, how about that for a live stream? I wonder what the hell happened there. So, what was I talking about? Oh, Peter Sellers. That's right. Let me get my headphones back on here. How about that for a bad live stream? All of a sudden, you hear a clang in the back. Like, oh, what was that? Okay. So yeah, I think that yeah, he'd be. What did I say he would be good at? I lost my train of thought now. That got me all frazzled now. So oh, and it changed the lighting here too. Let me just do a quick adjustment. Okay, let's try that again. It's a little darker, but that's okay. I ain't too worried about it. I just didn't want that to be like right in my face, and so. I wonder if this can actually go a little higher too. On my laptop. Let me just adjust that there. Maybe that might help. So yeah, okay. So Peter Sellers was Erskine, Doctor Erskine. That's what his name was. I knew it would come back to me. All right, so how about some ladies, some women for the MCU here from the 1960s. All right, go back. Oh, yeah, people forget that. Um, man, I can't think of nobody's name anymore these days. Man, this ain't even good. I'm about to get Alzheimer's. All right, so most famous actresses, greatest female stars in the 1960s. What is that about? 1960s. Oh, IMDb. The best actresses ever, 1960s. Okay, so that's cool. Claudia Cardinal. Ooh, wow. Okay, so Italian film stars. Jean Moreau. Anouk Amy. She played the part of Juliet in The Lovers Verona in 1949. During the 1950s and 60s, she made various films, including Entrepreneurs in 19 and La Dolce Vita. Okay, so that's a pretty good one. But only Lola. Okay, man and woman. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at her and see what she looked like back in the 1960s. We'll say 66. Okay, she was very pretty, really pretty. Let's see here. I don't know if I would cast her directly as Black Widow. I might cast her as Wasp. Um, Evangeline Lilly's character, the Wasp. Yeah, yeah, I like this picture right here. And like, yeah, I think she would play a really good opposite to like an Ant Man type character. Hmm. Cool. All right, so that's we have our Wasp, and let's take a look back to what else we have here. Sophia Loren. Now that's a name I recognize. Who would Sophia Loren play? Oh man. Hmm. Captain Marvel. Yeah, Captain Marvel. Hmm. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. Yeah, okay. That's a great picture. 1967. Yeah, I give her a Captain Marvel. Sure. That's cool. All right, so who else we got here? Michio Atama. Okay. 1930 in Nara, Japan. Human Condition 2, and The Sword of Doom. Ooh, interesting. Well, I'm gonna be honest. She kind of looks like um, Mantis from Guardians. Just add two um, antenna. Hepburn. Who would Hepburn be? She would have to be a headliner. I don't know if she could be Black Widow. She's Mary Jane. Let's see how old she was in 1964. Let's see, born in 29, so 39, 49, 59, 69. So she would have been in her mid 30s. So it's too old for Mary Jane. Okay. Or at least younger Mary Jane. Let's see, she'd be in her mid 30s. Would I only cast Hepburn as Miranda Hill? Hmm. Maybe Pepper? Maybe Pepper? She could be a Pepper. Yeah, I could see her as like a secretary starting off as, and then like the a Tony being able to start flirting with her, or they flirt with each other or whatever. I could see that. Yeah, she'd be a great Pepper Potts. Why not? Who else we got here? Hepburn. Who would Hepburn play? Let's see how old she would be. Maybe Frigga, Odin's wife. Born in 1907. Okay, so then if it's a 60, she would have been, we'll say 67. So rounded out, she would be 60 years old. So yeah, I would put her easily as Frigga with Odin. Yeah, Thor's mom. Easily. That'd be a great cast. I want to try to find a Black Widow. Who would play Black Widow well? Anne Bancroft. Look at that face. Just sure. Let's see. Well, let's see how old she would be. Born in 31. Okay, so we'll go by again 61 because we're saying 60s. She would have been 30. Yeah, so let's take a look, see what she would look like back in 1961. Hmm. Yeah, I think she would definitely. She could definitely play. Here, look at me. I sound like Rain Man. Definitely, definitely. Um, let's see here. I think she does, man. I think she would be a really great Black Widow. She's got really like yeah. That's oh my God, Dustin Hoffman easily as look at that. That's easily right here. That is the whole. That's the Bruce Banner and Black Widow right here. It's a double casting in one. That's awesome. Or at least him as Spider Man, maybe. Wait, no. How old? Okay, so let's see how old was Dustin Hoffman. He was fairly young in Mrs. Robinson. That's right. What is? Um, when did that come out? 67. Okay, so we'll go by 67. So yeah, she was if she was born in when was that? 31. So yeah, she would have been 36. The Graduate, Mrs. Rob. That's right. That's what it was called, The Graduate, not Mrs. Robinson. I'm thinking of the song. That's what I'm thinking of. How old was he? Dustin Hoffman. That's what I say. Born in 37, and that was in 67. I said that was one of his earliest movies, man. It's going way back. Yeah, so 60. Okay, so he was born in what did I say? 37, 67. So he was 30, right? 37, 67. Yeah, that's 30 years old, man. So I would put him as yeah, I'd definitely put him as Bruce Banner. I think he would be a good Bruce Banner, man. He could pull off scientific, get those little small glasses. Yeah, he could do it. Hmm. All right, cool. So we have quite a bit of casting here for 1960s. This would be an interesting Avengers movie, man. So we got like yeah. So I just said Dustin Hoffman as Bruce Banner, Anne Bancroft as Black Widow, um, Katherine Hepburn as Frigga, um, Vincent or who did I say? Peter Sellers as Erskine. Um, hmm. I gotta find who would be the Stark. Who would be now? I gotta find who would be Stark. Let's see here. You'd have to probably get to somebody like Clark Gable or somebody like a big name like that. Well, maybe not because what's his name? Downey Jr. wasn't a huge name at the time. I mean, he was, but like he didn't have the best reputation at the time. So maybe I could find someone similar. Hmm. All right. So yeah, I got distracted from my phone for a second. Trying to do two things at once is not good. But let me go back to actors. Bro, why can't I give me the address bar? Stupid Google. No, you're too dumb to have that. That's too advanced. Alright, I keep getting distracted. So, 1960s. Theoretically, you could put Elvis. Alright, so would I put the King to be Iron Man? He's charismatic, already popular. I don't think you could pull off the goatee, though. That's a hard goatee. You need someone more of a kind of a beatnik type character. Hmm. Okay, so that kind of narrows it down. Hmm. Oh, so here we go. The biggest stars in 1960. This is what I was trying to look for earlier. I don't know why it was giving me a best at. So I'll close these out and research them a bit. Cary Grant. That's interesting. Rock Hudson. Now, I was going to say this Jack Lemmon from the 1960s. I would easily cast Jack Lemmon as Coulson. I think he would kill it. I that seems like an instant casting. Um, Sean Connery. Hmm. Thunderbolt Ross. No, well, he's got that thick accent though. Hmm. Sean Connery in '64. Let's see. Let me go to Sean Connery's page here. Hmm. I'm not sure who I would put Sean Connery as. Hmm. I I think it'd be easy to put him as Nick Fury. He was born in 1930, so he let's say 65. That makes him 35. Um. Hmm. That's a good question. I am wondering who that would be. Okay, well, at least I'm still alive, but what's going on here? I'm going for about 44 minutes, looks like. I'm going to switch over to the 70s, I think. We got quite a bit of cast here. I was really hoping for an Iron Man in this. Let me see, let's go for that. Let me see if I can, let's go for Iron Man in the 60s. Lee Marvin. I could see him as a Thunderbolt Ross. Steve McQueen. Who would Steve McQueen be? Captain America. Steve McQueen's easily Captain America. Sidney Poitier is. I would. Okay, so I don't want to just directly give him um, Nick Fury. That's what I cast him as. let's see how old he was. So I might give him Falcon. Yeah, I would give him the casting of Falcon or Falcon, not Falcon. No, he's Black Panther. Yeah, Sidney Poitier. Yeah, I would totally give him Black Panther. Dope. What am I thinking? Yeah, that's an amazing cast. That's an amazing cast. Paul Newman. Paul Newman might be able to pull off a great um, Tony Stark. I was really hoping to find one, at least not. I'm just kind of sticking to the top 15, like these big names here, like so. Dean maybe. He was around in the '60s, right? Let's see if I can recognize anybody here. Hmm, that's a good question. Who would be the Iron Man in the 1960s? Dick Van Dyke. I don't know, man. He could do it. I think he could. Why not? Why not? Why couldn't he? Um, yeah. Let's see. Why not, dude? Sinatra. Hmm. I wonder who Sinatra would be. I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. I have to pass. I can't think of a single person who would be Iron Man back then. Without doing further, and I don't want to waste any more time. And let's see, 1970s. Let's go to the 1970s. The who would be in Marvel in 1970s? Okay, so would you automatically cast um, Harrison Ford? I don't know if I would. I'm gonna be honest. I think he was really used a lot, and I get people would want to use him, but I would cast him as Harry Osborn. I think, yeah, I think he would be Harry Osborn in in the '70s. Oh, wait a second. Now, who would be Burt Reynolds? Burt Reynolds has to have a badass character. Um, Punisher. Burt Reynolds as Punisher. That would kill. Oh, that would just kill at the box office. Hmm. Okay, so let's see who else. Who else? Who else? John Travolta. Hey, that is the '70s, all right. Who would Travolta play in the 70s? Now this is like was it the Disco Fever movie? Him and he's in. He's a dancer. Who could he play? I don't think I'd cast John Travolta as a main character. I would probably put him. Hmm. Maybe like a Flash Thompson in like the 70s. If you like when he was still. Well, it depends on when the Spider Man era would be. Who else could he play? John Travolta in the 70s. He's fairly tall. He seems tall in the day. He was really skinny. Um, hmm. I don't want to give him like a Johnny Storm yet or something like that. I was thinking I want to give him a side character. Hmm. That's interesting. If he could pull off a serious role, um, Martin Starr's character from uh, Black Panther and Civil War, him, I think if he could pull off a serious role, kind of like the agent role, maybe. Um, hmm. John Travolta in Marvel. John Travolta in Marvel. It's a good question. I don't know if you could put him in the Marvel film. Maybe one of the friends of Ant Man. Robert Redford. Robert Redford. So now I gotta look up Redford. So let's see. No, I don't want to give them credit. Let me go back. Hmm. Would I cast Redford as Captain America for the callback in uh, Winter Soldier? Yes. Yes, I would. I like that. Most famous actresses in the 1970s. Okay. Meryl. Who would Meryl in this? I'm gonna give her Gwen Stacy. I think she would be an interesting Gwen Stacy. I like that. Hmm. Let's go back to IMDb. Favorite actors of the 70s. Ellen Burstyn, Linda Blair. Eh, I wouldn't cast Linda Blair. Jodie Foster was pretty young then. Um, Karen Black. Oh yeah, she was in Easy Rider. Hmm. Nah. Dan Keaton. No. Shelley Duvall. Well, where would I fit Shelley Duvall in the MCU or Marvel? Hmm. That would be an interesting casting. In the 70s, I would say probably a nerdy type role. Um, hmm. Like a doctor's assistant or like not a nurse, like a separate doctor who's like in training or like a resident, I guess you'd say, or hmm. I'm trying to think which movie she could go into. No, you know what? I could see her in a Spider-Man film as maybe like a teacher. Um, I wouldn't give her Aunt May. I don't want to give her Aunt May, but maybe like a teacher in Spider-Man as a cameo, or hmm, maybe a character in Guardians. That'd be interesting. I think she'd be interesting in that. Well, anyway, let me move on from there. Um, let's see, Carrie Fisher. All right, for the kids, who would Carrie Fisher be in the MCU in the 70s? No, I wouldn't cast her as Black Widow. It's I get it, but no. Um, kind of spunky. Hmm. That's an interesting question. Where would Carrie Fisher fit into the MCU? Um, I would put Carrie Fisher as Jane, Thor's girlfriend, Jane Foster. That's what I would go for. I think that would be a great cast. I think she like during that time. Yeah, I'd give her Jane. She could do that. Let's see who else we have here. Pam Grier. Who would Pam Grier be? Would I don't like the idea of putting her as one of the Dora Milaje. I would she's too big of an I no, I would put Pam Grier Um, hmm, that's a good question. Let me see what she looked like back in 60, or no, 70. Let's see. Let me pull up. Most notably from Jackie Brown, but that was later on. That was in the 90s. Um, Foxy Brown. Let's go down to the 60s. Or 70s, I should say. Beyond the Valley of Dolls. Moon Cages, The Twilight People, Cool Breeze, The Bird, Big Bird Cage, Hitman, Black Mama, White Mama, Scream, Blacklist Scream, The Arena, Foxy Brown. You know what? If it's 70s, I'm gonna give her a Black Widow. I think she would be a good Black Widow. It'd be an interesting change up. Or if not Black Widow, I would go with um. I don't want to give her Monica Rambeau either. Um, She-Hulk. I'll take back Black Widow. I'll give her She-Hulk. I think she would. Yeah, she would definitely be a great She-Hulk. I mean, this just the cover alone right here of Coffee is that I could see that easily. She's in green and like CGI and I said CGI aside, but still like I could just yeah that would be interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see her in She-Hulk. I think, or maybe Gamora. I'd still give her She-Hulk. I think it's a better name. It's a better casting. Brooke Shields. She was fairly young back then too. Uh, was born in '65. Okay, so I wouldn't cast her in the MCU yet. Hmm. Susan Sarandon. Darcy. No, no, I wouldn't. No, Sally Field. Okay, so Sally Field would be. Hmm. Would Sally Field be? I'm thinking of her from Smokey and the Bandit. Sally Field might actually be a better Darcy. Who would I say would be a good um Jane? Oh, Hepburn. If Hepburn was in the '60s, Darcy and Sally Field in the '70s. Hmm. Sure. I'll also yeah, I could see Sally Field as Darcy. Karen Allen. Hmm. I would give Karen. I would give Jane to Karen Allen. That would be an interesting team up. Karen Allen and Sally Field in the '70s as Jane and Darcy. That would be interesting. I'd want to watch that. Let's jump to the '80s now. We'll start with actresses this time. Best actresses, biggest stars. Let's go with best actresses of the 80s. Mia Farrow. I know the name. I don't know her that well. Because she was on Woody Allen. Let's see here. I'm gonna give her Mary Jane. Let's see how old she was. We're supposed to be looking in the 80s. Well, maybe not. She was born in 45. We're talking 80s. Aunt May. Mia Farrow is Aunt May. If you happen to check out the live stream, send something in the chat. Let me know what you think. Somebody I recognize. Leah Thompson in the 80s. That's a good one because she was in. She was in a couple good 80s films. I would make her Kate Bishop. I would give her Kate Bishop. Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan. We'll say Meg Ryan. How old is she? She's probably in her. She'd be in her 20s, right? Right, in the 80s. Yeah. So she was okay. So 61. Meg Ryan. She's definitely yeah. She was definitely cute back then. Who would she play? I want to give. I want to give her Captain Marvel. I think she could do Captain Marvel. I like that idea. Sure. Yeah, I could do. Yeah, that'd be an interesting casting. Here's Captain Marvel, or she's mid-20s. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I'll go for that. Julie Andrews, born in 35 in the 80s, mid 50s. Um, Catherine Van Dyne, um, Wasp mom. Mary Tyler Moore. Ooh, I would love to cast Mary Tyler Moore. I would probably put her in the 60s, depending. Who would Mary Tyler Moore be? She'd be interesting to. Let's see. Yeah, she's born in 36. So we'll say if it was 66, she's 30. Um, I think she'd be a fun wasp. I think she'd really pull that off. Or who else? No, no. I want to cast her as um Nakamura, her sister. Um, oh wow. I think that would be a really interesting casting. Mary Tyler Moore as who was the sister to Gamora? Wow, I have her in my head. Rosie Perez. I want to cast Rosie Perez from the 80s. I guess she would have to be America Chavez. I don't think she has to be, but who else? That'd be interesting. Jane Fonda in the 80s. Businesswoman. Um, she can play businesswoman. Um, Maybe like a senator in Iron Man 2. Something like that. Gina Davis. Hmm. I take my previous one. The sister of Gamora would be played by Gina Davis, not Mary Tyler Moore. Mary Tyler Moore would play. I'm not sure where I put Mary Tyler Moore. I'd make her Mary Jane. Judy Dench might be Frigga. Let's see. I'm probably skipping over some names here, but Deborah Winger. She's fairly young in that day. Angelica Houston. I don't see her. Well, yeah, no, she plays. She could play Hela. Cher. Where would Cher go? Cher's Gomorrah. Like in the 70s? Yeah, Cher's Gomorrah in the 70s. Molly Ringwald. Ooh, easily. Mary Jane. She's a Mary Jane from the 80s. Whoopi Goldberg. Where would I put Whoopi Goldberg? Um, hmm. She's a comedic actor. Hmm. I would try to find a place for her in Thor Ragnarok. I don't want to put her in Guardians. Not many real comedies outside of Thor Ragnarok and Guardians. Like they've had humor, but not really like a comedy. Um, yeah, somewhere around there maybe. I'm not sure who she would be cast as, but I definitely would want Whoopi Goldberg in there somewhere. Um, I'm not sure. Oprah. Oprah. I might actually. Oprah would be interesting. Oprah would be. Who could be Oprah? Or who could Oprah be, I should say. Hmm. In the 80s? Um. How old is she? 54 in the 80s. They'll say 84. She would have been 30? Really? Wow, I thought she was older than that. Hmm. Who was Black Panther's girlfriend? Um, I can't think of her name now. I forgot her name. Hmm. Let's see if there's some actors here. I really want to find an Iron Man. I haven't found an Iron Man through the rest of the decades. I really want to put Clint Eastwood somewhere. I think Clint Eastwood would be an interesting Captain America. Like in the 60s, mid 60s, early 70s. Now this would be easy. People would put like um, Michael J. Fox as Spider Man. I think that's too easy. Um, I would go with probably. That's a good question. Yeah, Molly Ringwald is easily Mary Jane with that red hair. She sells it. Um, where could I cast Madonna? Madonna from the 80s? Hmm. Betty Brant. But here's Wanda's kids right here. That's easily Wanda's kids. So that's settled. Um, oh, we have to have Magnum. Where? Oh, that's easily Tony Stark in the 80s. Magnum PI as no, he's Nick Fury. I could see him Nick Fury. Hmm. I wonder where Eddie Murphy would be in the MCU in the 80s. Hmm. I hate to say it, but maybe T.I.'s character in Ant Man, comedic role, about the same age. No, he'd be younger in the 80s. He'd be like in his early 20s. Yeah. No. I would give. You know what? I'll make him Falcon. I think Eddie Murphy, if he was given the right like the right script and right motivation and the right tone, I think he could really do Falcon. I like that. Where would I cast? All right, so challenge. Where would I cast Michael Jackson from the 80s? Hmm. I would cast him in Spider Man. Why in Spider Man? That's a good question. I'm thinking from like the Thriller era, or like when he was still really young, um, like a friend of like yeah, like a friend of Spider Man's or something. Hmm. All right, I'll go with that. Um. Oh, that's the kid from Iron Man 3 right there. Let me close that back down. Yeah, that's what's his name? Culkin, Macaulay Culkin, the Culk, as they say. Um, no, what's she would be Betty Brant right here. Man, I can't think of anybody's name. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore is Betty Brant. Arnold. Who would Arnold play? Big dude. Drax. Christopher Reeves. Who would Christopher Reeves play in? Um, Interesting. That'd be interesting. Who would Christopher Reeves play? Captain America. He'd be Captain America. I mean, it's basically the Captain America character from today is a Superman of that day. So yeah, I'd easily put him as Captain America. Arsenio. Where would I put Arsenio Hall? Hmm. I can see Arsenio Hall playing himself for like his character, like from the TV show like in the movie on TV, making comments about Iron Man. Or or I could see him in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy as the guy who goes, "Who?" I forgot his name, but I can see him play that. That would be funny to see him in Guardians doing the line of "Who." I really want to cast Steve Gutenberg. Who would Steve Gutenberg play? Because look at, I mean, just let me just look at Steve Gutenberg from the '80s. I mean, he has to be in the MCU of the '80s. Oh, he's Ant Man. He's easily Ant Man, dude. Look at that. Look at that. That's like Paul Rudd. Yeah, that's easily a Ant Man character. He's funny. It was the '80s, like Police Academy. Yep, I'm down for that. Yeah, Steve Gutenberg is Paul as Ant Man. Where would Rodney Dangerfield fit? It would have to be a guest appearance. I think he would play the senator in Iron Man 2, the Gary Shandling's character. I think that'd be interesting. Okay, I'm gonna say I don't, he's not coming up, but I would like to see Tom Hanks from the '80s play Reed Richards. So let's pull this up for a second. Okay, just yeah, he was at a time he was really skinny. He was tall. Um, I think he could really pull off Reed Richards in the '80s. Yeah, I think that'd be a great casting. Him as Reed Richards. It'd be interesting. I don't remember actually seeing Tom Hanks play a really intelligent character. I mean, he usually plays like, even by his own words, he's like, I wanted, like more manly roles, like Saving Private Ryan and Castaway and things like that. So, like, I mean, I don't know if he could really pull off a really intelligent type character. Excuse me. Um, but I think early in his career, I think he could do it. I don't know if he could do it later in his career, But I would really like to see that. I would really like to see him as like an intelligent, nerdy type character. I have yet to see him in that, which is disappointing. Come to think about it. I would cast Prince as the collector. I think that would be an interesting casting. The Prince as the collector. Okay, so let's move finally into the 90s. Famous actors of the 90s. Wait, let me go back. Let me just say, I think Rob Lowe would be an interesting either Harry Osborn or Spider Man. Jonathan Taylor Thomas as Spider Man in the 90s. I think that would be pretty. Um, I think that would be a solid casting, like '96 era. Um, Everybody would want Leo, and I think he was up for the role for Spider Man, but like I would go with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Stifler. Where would you put Stifler in the MCU? Flash Thompson. Tom Cruise. Where would you put young Tom Cruise? I don't know if you could pull off. I mean, I think you do it. I don't know if you could be well the right cast for Iron Man. He's not ready for that role yet. Um, Tom Cruise is hmm. Mm, that's a toughie. That's a toughie, man. I don't know where I would put young Tom Cruise. Hmm. I'm gonna put out there, and I'll say Captain America. A young Tom Cruise, similar to Chris Evans playing Captain America. I think that could work. Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie from the '90s. Black Widow. Kid and Play. I choose to believe that Class Act falls into the MCU by itself. Like, for some unknown reason, Like it's a prequel in the '90s, and you could just slide because honestly, it's such a generic movie and it's such a hilarious movie. I think you could just say why not and just put it in there. I think that would be great. Pauly Shore's in there. I don't know, like people forget that. Elisa Dushku is definitely Black Widow. Matilda. Um, she would be Tony Stark's daughter, Morgan. Jennifer Aniston. Oh, Hawkeye's wife. She'd be Hawkeye's wife. So here's a picture. It looks like you have Denzel Washington as Black Panther. I don't know if I would give him Black Panther, dude. I would give him Nick Fury. uh, Serial killer. I forgot his name, dude. Oh my god. I don't know if I could cast him in probably in a Spider-Man movie, but Samuel Jackson from the '90s. Hmm, that's interesting. Now, I don't want to cast him as Nick Fury, obviously, because he is Nick Fury, so he has to be somebody else. Um, from the '90s, I would say he's still doing side character roles in that era, except for Pulp Fiction, which is really his big breakout, like or one of his big breakouts. That in Jurassic Park, uh, and with a Vengeance, Die Hard with a Vengeance. And he usually played nerdy guys then. Well, quite kind of. Um, the main movie I'm thinking of that he when he was younger is like was it Goodfellas? He was in Goodfellas. That was like an early film. There was Jurassic Park and hmm, Rhodey. I would give him Rhodey in the '90s. Who would Chris Tucker play? I think he would. I mean, he's comedic, so I think I have to put him in Guardian somewhere. The he could be he might be able to pull off the Grandmaster and Thor Ragnarok. Tim Allen. Tim Allen in the MCU. That'd be interesting. I can see him as like a business professional or like maybe in the military or um, I can see him as a villain. I think he'd be an interesting villain in the '90s. Um, Probably the villain to Ant Man in the first Ant Man movie. I can't think of his name. Will Smith. Where would Will Smith in the '90s fit in the MCU? Falcon, maybe? As an up and coming star? Sure. That seems really easy. That seems really easy. Um, I'll do a little better than that. Who else? Depends on what era of the '90s. Because like in the early '90s, he was still getting his footing with the show, and in the later '90s, he was really killing it with like Men in Black and um, believe it or not, Wild Wild West. A lot of people actually still like Wild. I still like it. Um, hmm. Where would Will Smith be in the '90s? It's a good question. I would make him the rival to Tony Stark in Iron Man 2. I think he's definitely charismatic enough. He could play kind of a bad guy. I think he could use his cockiness as playing the bad guy. Yeah, I can see him as Justin Hammer in Iron Man 2. Michael Bolton. Now there's a challenge. Michael Bolton. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna have to pass on Michael Bolton. I can't think of anything offhand. Joe Pesci, on the other hand, that would be a really interesting casting on who that could be, on who he could play. Um, he's definitely could play a serious character, obviously from like the various gangster movies, and um, he's really funny in that movie there. Um, what? That's a toughie, actually. I keep thinking about it. Who would be Joe Pesci? This is just a random, but I would say the teacher from Iron Man, or not, from Spider Man, Martin Starr's character. I'd replace him with Joe Pesci, just for kicks. Okay, so here's a casting for you. Let me jump back to the 1960s. 1960s, Clint Eastwood as Vision. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Hmm. I think it would be easy to give Jim Carrey Mr. Fantastic in the 90s because just his facial expressions. To change it up a bit, though, I would probably put him as. Hmm. I want to put him as a serious character. I would put him. I would want to see him as a Coulson. No, no. It has to be more stirring than that. I don't think you could do that. He's been such a comedic actor. And like I'm trying to think of like all his serious films would be like The Truman Show or the 23 was another one, or Spotless Mind I think was another one. Hmm. I want to see Jim Carrey in the 90s as Loki. I think he would be an amazing Loki. What else do we have here? Okay, so it looks like you've lost the search. So let's go back. That's enough of the actors. Let's do actresses. Okay, so here we go. The 90s actresses. Did I already do the 90s with actresses? Oh, well. I'll still. Let's see who else I can find. Well, I think I'm going to end it after this. Alright, let's see here. Okay, so you're giving me really crap results here, so. Let's do top 30 female stars of the 90s. Julia Roberts. Well, I would have to say in the 90s, Julia Roberts would have to be Pepper Potts. I would have to go there. Jodie Foster, if I had to, Jane. Sandra Bullock would be. Ooh, Sandra Bullock would be Betty from The Incredible Hulk. And I would keep her around for the rest of the MCU. Demi Moore. Demi Moore in the 90s would be Black Widow, easily. Sharon Stone would be. Hmm. Sharon Stone. I wouldn't cast Sharon Stone. Michelle Pfeiffer from the 90s. I don't know. Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder from the 90s. Darcy. Uma Thurman would be Captain Marvel. Andy McDowell. Jane. Andy McDowell is Jane. I would like to see that. I think she'd be a good Jane. I need a Thor. I haven't thought of any Thors. Except for like, who would be a Thor in the 90s? Kevin, no. From the 90s, Kevin Sorbo. But not today. Um, Angela Bassett would be, what's her name from the Dora Milaje? Sigourney Weaver from the 90s. Gamora's sister. I can't think of her name. I can't think of nobody's name, dude. Um, Lumini. like I see your face. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna call it here, man, because I went through all 4 decades, man, of like who I would cast in from the '60s all the way to the '90s for Marvel. I think it'd be crazy to have this. I mean, to have those type of Avengers and different characters in different decades, that would be really interesting. Let me know what you guys think. If you disagree, if you have your own idea, throw it in the comments. Throw me. It'd be nice to get a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'm gonna call it here. Peace to the universe.